finding small cap gems before they go up 46% or up over 64% in a single day has nothing to do with luck. In this video, I'm going to show you that it has everything to do with understanding layer 1 ecosystems, because this is where you could find your biggest gains in the coming weeks and months. In this video, I'm going to show you my exact system on how I identified coins like Pangolin before it went up 30x in just a few weeks, or Cetus, which in the last few weeks is up over 5x. So hit the like button and let's get into today's video. Now I know what you're thinking. Just yesterday, this guy was telling me to buy large caps only and to not hold small caps. I wasn't quite saying that. I was saying that the majority of your portfolio, around 90 to 95%, should be in large cap coins, leaving a little bit of percentage for you to go and play. And knowing that you're probably going to go and do that anyway, because everyone's telling you about small caps for massive percentage gains, I thought I would show you the best way for you to go and find them yourself, so that you don't have to rely on sketchy YouTubers telling you about small cap coins, wondering whether that YouTuber even knows what they're talking about. Now, there's a reason at the start of a bull market that the bigger market cap coins get to run. And that's because they are the ecosystems that everything else is built on top of. Which ecosystems am I talking about? Well, layer 1 ecosystems. And if you want to find these, of which there is a few that you probably know, go across to coinmarketcap.com, go to cryptocurrencies and go down to categories, and then you can search for layer 1 ecosystems. Now, this is going to give you a list of different layer 1s in size of market cap. And it's very key to look at this right now, because you can see that with the exception of Tron and down the list, ICP and Casper, pretty much the top 20 or 30 layer 1s have been massively up in the last week or so. And while you might want to speculate on why each of these individual chains is up, because the team's really good and they're getting marketing and, you know, they're building this and they're building that, you don't need to. I'm going to tell you that to identify a winner, first of all, you need to dissociate yourself from any emotional attachment you have to these coins, because I know layer 1s are a bit weird and people support them like football teams. Yeah, any reason why that is? Anyway, don't get emotionally attached to any of this stuff. It doesn't matter. We're literally going to follow the data. So as we come down the list, something a little bit strange has happened. Cardano, which hasn't really been doing a huge amount for the last 12 to 24 months, has all of a sudden gone up 27%. And as you know, if you watch this channel, I barely ever talk about Cardano, because it just doesn't really seem to be doing anything interesting. Until today, when I suddenly see Cardano as one of the top performing layer 1s, and one of the top performing coins in the top 100, alongside Kronos, which is another layer 1 that we're going to talk about in a moment. So whenever you see something like this, I don't want you to go and start reading the news or speculating on why Cardano is going up, but you need to go and follow the data. And this is exactly what I showed you back in September when we talked about Sui Chain. Okay, and we talked about Sui, and we said that all these different projects underneath Sui in this video would do likely very well because Sui was starting to pick up in activity. We called Navi, which is pretty much up over 3x. We called Scallop, which is now up around 3x. And then we called Cetus, which is up 5x, having been listed on Binance just a couple of days ago. And how did we know that these were very hot picks? Well, because Sui as an ecosystem was showing huge growth in volume on chain and total value locked. You see, this information tells us that this ecosystem, this layer 1, is starting to get a load of projects building on top of it. Not only a load of projects, but a load of projects that people want to actually use. This obviously means that Sui is a good investment around this time as well, but the coins underneath Sui, which much smaller market caps than 6.5 billion, would likely see some good upside. And if you want to know how we managed to call Pangolin last year before the same thing happened, well, you can go across to Avalanche and you can see the volume and the TVL was starting to go crazy back at the end of 2023, which is when we got into that coin, and then we saw massive upside. Therefore, these are very high probability trades where you still get that massive upside without having to see too much downside risk in the short term. So I told you, Cardano is doing incredibly well right now, whilst Tron down below isn't doing particularly well. And as we look down through the list, you can go across and see each of these different layer 1s and understand what it is that is driving their growth and success right now. And for those of you who are wondering why Tron is down right now, well, it had a very strong period through the summer, but look at the TVL starting to fall off the face of a cliff, is dipping towards the downside. It got a lot of excitement over the summer with Sun Pump, but after memes have migrated to Sui and back to Solana and onto Ethereum and everywhere else, it's kind of lost its excitement. This is causing Tron to lose its volume, and people will start to move to different ecosystems. This is very key as well, because I want you to pay attention to your investments in layer 1s over here, because if they start to lose volume, they start to lose TVL, then maybe it's time to move across to something else without having to see too much downside. This is the trick to all of it, right? Understanding why something is moving, and then you can make accurate bet. And if so far you'll like the sound of what you're hearing, where I'm actually teaching you how to fish, which no one else out there is going to do, then make sure you're subscribed to the House of Crypto, because every day I'm going to take you through and hold your hand so that you can go and find these coins for yourself, because it really isn't that difficult. And you're going to make far more money than you've ever thought possible, because you're not just going to be fed rubbish by people you can't really trust, because there's only one person you can really trust in crypto, and it's yourself. And I'm going to teach you how to trust yourself. So let me just rejig my memory. If I come across, yes, Cardano has been pumping recently. So why on earth is that? Well, Cardano has a pretty big market cap of $15.6 billion. So it's seen a big influx of capital. Where's that money come from? I don't really know. But it's starting to get exciting over on Cardano. Look, the volume suddenly in the last couple of days has come up from about $2 million per day up to $8 million in just the last couple of days. And you can see this surge in volume is a very positive thing for Cardano. But $15.6 million. For you to make a 10x on Cardano has to go and become way bigger than Solana. And if you find yourself right now being like, yeah, but Cardano is really cool because Charles Hodgkinson seems like a really knowledgeable bloke. Shut up, okay? It's not about that, okay? Let it go. It's about down here, okay? And this down here shows you that all of these different projects within the ecosystem under Cardano are starting to show lots of activity. This is a very, very good thing, okay? Because lots of people are starting to actively use the platforms under Cardano. Guess what happens? When Cardano starts to go up in value, it's like a positive knock-on effect. All the people will be like, Cardano's up. And then they all come in and start to interact in these different places. But the good news is, because you subscribe to the House of Crypto, you're realizing this before everyone else who's just looking at Cardano right now, being like, maybe I'll just buy into that coin, and actually forget about the fact that all of these coins under here will massively benefit from an uptick in Cardano. So, very simply, just go to the TVLs and just sort by volume of TVL. Now, there's probably more accurate ways to do this, and I'll show you another way you can use in a moment. But total value locked indicates that people are starting to actively use platforms. Now, what platforms work well? Well, we go back to Sui. What coins did we talk about? We talked about Cetus, which is a decentralized exchange. As soon as Sui picks up volume, people start to use decentralized exchanges, right? No brainer. This, therefore, benefits the value of that coin. People start to use staking and lending platforms because people see that Sui is going up. They want to stake it and lend it. This is obviously a very natural thing as well. As you come down to the protocol rankings, then you see there's a bunch of lending platforms, there's a bunch of dexes. You can go down through and click on a few of these different ones until you find something suitable. For example, number one, you've got Liquid. Currently with total value locked at $73 million. People actively using it, huge volume starting to come in, which is pretty cool. You can see the TVL surging towards the upside, and we can suddenly see the market cap going up. Liquid has under $1 million market cap, but obviously it comes with its risks. So it's a very small market cap. Possibly be cautious of buying into such smaller market cap coins. Okay, I personally wouldn't necessarily choose this one because maybe it is a little bit too small. So coming back to Cardano, here's another one. Indigo, okay, total value locked, $48 million. And then look, market cap suddenly starts to rise as well, in line with a stiff pump in the TVL. And everyone loves a stiff pump, so let's go and find out what Indigo is all about. Tokenization of everything, okay. Remember what I said to you yesterday about key narratives to pay attention to. Real-world assets, gaming, AI, deep-in, yeah? This is a real-world asset platform, by the look of it, that's talking about tokenization of assets, tokenization of digital and real-world assets on a blockchain, on a chain that's starting to show volume. We've seen this before on Base with Aerodrome. I'm going to make a video about Base ecosystem tomorrow because I've got some really damn good coins to talk about there. So make sure you're ready for that one with the notification bell turned on, because the guys who get in early to that video could likely see some good benefits. Now, obviously, go through and do a little bit more research than I'm doing here, but I just want to work through a lot of things, okay? Understand key narrative. You can go across and look at things like Twitter. Decent following. Are they followed by any other influencers? Possibly not particularly huge ones, but they got Ivan and Tech under here. Interesting. Okay, you can go and find out whether or not this is something that might be useful. And you see, you're simply just finding Cardano. You're going to the project underneath. You're looking for the ones that the top TVL coming in is a $19 million market cap coin showing good value growth. Okay, if I go to a chart and have a look at what Indigo is doing, then I can see some interesting stuff. And I don't hold any Indigo. I'm just telling you how to go through this process. Buy Indigo, don't buy Indigo, I don't care. So simply go across here, go to Cardano, identify that it's going up a lot compared to others. You don't want to buy Cardano necessarily because it's a bigger market cap. You're not going to see such big gains, but you can go and benefit that if Cardano continues to go up and Cardano does a 5x, the Indigo has a good chance of doing like a 20 or 30x against Cardano's 5x. Okay? Does that make sense? If it makes sense, hit the like button. If it doesn't make sense, go back and just rewatch that again, because I think what I'm teaching you, pat myself on the back here, is probably one of the most useful things that you're going to learn in this crypto bull market. Okay? If you already know it, Tell me down below. Now, let's get on with it. Now, as you come down through this list, I want you to kind of learn. You don't have to learn in great detail, but just go down and like look at these top 30 or so coins, okay? Because they're the ones going to get the most exposure through this bull market, okay? Some will get more than others, but these are going to be your key to understanding. Go to ChatGPT, put in all of these names and just say, give me a paragraph about Sui and tell me the pros and cons, and do it for Tron and do it for Ton and do it for AVAX and do it for DOT and do it for ICP and Casper, whatever else it is. And understand that all of these coins will start to see good growth and excitement when they have lots of transactions, when they have lots of people developing on that platform, when they have lots of projects being built on their smart contracts. This is why I think Casper's lagging a bit right now, because they will be introducing smart contracts something in Q1 2025. I know lots of people love Casper, but Casper's not showing much activity right now, and it's because they're waiting for those smart contracts. If Casper starts to see a load of projects using Casper to build smart contracts, then suddenly it could become very interesting and very exciting. But if we come across here, then we can find out something useful. There's another big coin here that's been doing really well. Yes, it's grass, okay, but we're going to look at this one, which is Kronos. Now, I haven't really paid much attention to Kronos for obvious reasons. It's way down the list of layer ones, and suddenly it's popped up with this big green bubble, and I asked myself, what's going on with Kronos? Well, here we are. Here's Kronos down in 32nd position, market cap $2.8 million, but it's up 48% in just the last 7 days. And this is pretty interesting, okay? Because you see it hasn't had a lot of interest over time. You know, it's back from the last bull market, suddenly started to pick up activity again. So again, I'm like, okay, I come across the DeFi Llama and I'm like, what's going on in Kronos? Because actually, as I look into this chart, it doesn't really show me a lot of information. If I click on volume, is there suddenly a pickup in volume? Well, there is, but because there was so much TVL and volume in the last bull market, maybe we need to just slide that out to give us a little bit of a clearer view. Now, while we can't necessarily see a huge change, we are going from a volume of around like 4 million, 1.3 million, 2 million every given day, to all of a sudden doing 9 million a day. Okay, and it's this change in activity, 13 million a day. This is the change in activity that we're now paying attention to. Now you can go away to the news, you can find out what's going on in Kronos, if you so wish. Okay, that's the easy part. This stuff you might not have known about, which is why I'm teaching you about it. Okay, but this is what we're looking at. Come down below. Wow, look at all of this green. Okay, this green is a good indicator that that chain is showing good strength. If you go and look at Trons right now, it's probably pretty red. Doesn't mean that Tron can't come back, but look for the ones that are showing volume returning. Here, okay, you got VVS Finance, you got Tectonic. You can sort by TVL growth, okay? VVS Finance, up 212 mil in TVL. Currently, it's got $140 million market cap. Just a couple of days ago, it was down here at $120 million market cap. If you're paying attention to all of these different layer ones on any given day and you start to see volume and stuff increasing, just do what I'm teaching you and you will find the next 50 to 100x gem. Pretty confident that. Now, this is a bigger market cap coin. I hear you say that. So let's find another. By coming down the list, you got Tectonic, which is a lending platform. TVL, not really doing a huge amount. Got others through the list. We've got a slightly smaller DEX than this one. And this is how I found Pangolin, okay? Avalanche already had Trader Joe that was already doing well. We found Pangolin simply as a smaller DEX on Avalanche. That's how we found it, okay? That was literally it. It did like a 30x within a few weeks after first covering it. Now, Ferro, never heard of it, okay? 18 million in TVL, which is not massive, okay, but potentially interesting as a DEX. Click on Ferro, let's find out about it. So if I come across the coin market cap, I see that Ferro is sat here with a $4 million market cap, which is pretty exciting. And that's why, even since the 7th of November, which is yesterday, you can see it's added $1 million to its market cap. Overnight, okay, bonkers, right? And that's with TVL at $18 million. Now, what we can see, zooming into the TVL, is a sudden uptick in TVL on Ferro, okay? This is an indicator there's money moving across to this right now. It's added $1 million in market cap overnight. It doesn't seem to have a huge kind of following over here on Twitter, so maybe it's just worth keeping an eye on for now. You can copy this particular name here. You can go across to twitterscore.io and paste that in, and you can see that it's not really getting much attention, which is fine. In contrast, the one we talked about the other day, Cetus, has got a pretty decent kind of growth here. You can see it's being followed by lots of people and the follower statistics are going up. Okay, so once you start to find coins, just keep an eye on them, put them on your watch list, and then if they start to gain followers and things like that, as the price is rising, then you could be onto a winner. And you can get in $5-6 million market caps before they go to 50, 60, 160, $200 million market caps and make yourself a 50x, maybe 100x or more. Now, for any new coin you look at, you come down below and you can find out which exchanges it's available on. Now, Ferro, I'm slightly put off by in that it's only available on kind of some of the smaller exchanges. Obviously, crypto.com is quite a big one, but come across, look at the volume. Volume is not particularly exciting. What we want to look for is maybe bigger volume before I consider getting into a coin like this. But by now, this should have taught you how to kind of go through and find coins that are about to absolutely pump. Because if Cardano starts to rip, it's already told us by all of the data we've looked at that Ferro is likely to go with it. And we've not even looked at a website yet. Okay, don't lose on slippage, trade on Ferro. You can go down through, see the TVLs. What you want to look at is these numbers. Are they going to start to increase? You can see the total volumes over a 24-hour period is pretty good. And you want to see this start to creep up. This could give us a good opportunity. You can keep an eye on the staking and lending pools and all of that good stuff. Remember, these projects are not going up by fluke. They're going up because they're in ecosystems that are busy, that are starting to make money. Back projects that are making money rather than ones that someone's told you are really good investments because the tech's amazing and the team were from this place and that place. If you talk to me about any of these layer ones, I can tell you something really good about all of them. I can also tell you something that's not so good about all of them as well. But I just identify the money moving to those platforms and then I put myself in the path of that money. Okay, that's how we should be working through this bull market. It's really not that difficult. Now, the chain that's actually seeing the most growth and the most volume is none other than Base chain for Coinbase. But this video has got a little bit long. And if you want me to talk about which of these coins down below that I'm buying into right now, then you need only subscribe to the channel and catch my video on the Base chain tomorrow and some of the small cap gems. Make sure you got that notification bell on so that you can catch the start of that video. I usually launch them at around 3 p.m. UK time or 3 p.m. London time if you want to be able to get on and watch that video at that time. Now, if you're wondering how you can join weekly tutorials with me and other experts to carry out this kind of research and be able to find these small cap gems before I'm talking about them on YouTube or telling anyone else about them for that matter, then you just need to join the Moonhouse, link down below. We have live Zoom calls every single week with tutorial based over-the-shoulder research. You can see here the Alpha and Gems chat. We're calling regularly different coins and things that we're buying. We talked about Sui. We made massive gains on Sui in here, Cetus, and a bunch of others. You can also join in the Hivemind and chat with other like-minded crypto investors around the world so that you can also make the best opportunity that you have in front of us for this crypto bull market. We've had full 5-star reviews. You can go and read the reviews. It's in the WOP link down below. Come across to the Moonhouse. We've got a lot of people in here right now who are absolutely killing it. And if you want to start killing it as well, then get into the Moonhouse, linked down below in the description. Now, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video and it was useful for you. Make sure you hit that like button. Continue to up your skills. Knowledge is the best investment you can get in this bull market, so make sure you're subscribed and I'll see you tomorrow in that base video. Bye-bye.